Hey everyone, Alex is Gio from RaddTitan. Yeah.
Yo!
Just have to look over there for his logo.
Hey!
Alright, so we're here today looking at the Salt and Pepper Studios Iceman from the X-Men. So what we'll do is we're going to do the usual business. We're going to go over him, we're going to weigh him, we're going to measure him, and we're going to let you know what we think. And that's pretty much it. So keep watching.
Boom. Yo, as Alex was saying, we're here with the hugely impressive Salt and Pepper Studios Iceman. Now, we'll give you a little bit of character breakdown. So, he's known as Robert Louis Drake, or otherwise known as Bobby Drake. It's actually quite an interesting character, Iceman. He is an Omega level mutant, which means he's pretty badass. And also, what I didn't realise, he's a founding member of the X-Men.
He's in the first X-Men.
The first comic, yeah. So he is one of the founding members. Back then he had like the bald head. This is sort of more of a modernist look to the character. He has the power to create quite actually complex shapes and even mini cities that he can build in a really quick amount of time. He's quite powerful. He can affect the entire planet's ecosystem and weather and everything else. He's quite strong, so he's not to be messed about with. Quite interestingly as well, which I did not realise, is for some reason, as I was going through some of the history of the character, it said sexuality, and that's always a good read. So I decided to look, and apparently in Amazing X-Men number 40, he comes out as being gay. So he is one of the gay X-Men. Now, apparently his younger self speaks to his older self, and they have a conversation about why he says he was concentrating on he couldn't even handle being a mutant, let alone a gay mutant, and all this. So he does have relationships with women. Polaris, he's quite fixed up with, and
the movie they try and make him a rogue, but I don't know if that's in the comics.
I didn't read anything about that, but always interesting to know. Now this is actually official, so this isn't Alex's Hal Jordan was the first openly gay character. That's not true. This is actually a bit of actual research, not an opinion. So yeah, really interested with that. Actually, that's pretty cool, and I really like this character. You know, when I did boxing, you know, I used that mantle as the Iceman. It's one of my favourites. So I love. You know, I've got a little bit of an affiliation with the character myself, so I'm quite happy that I got to see this.
Yeah, do you want to go over to the piece?
Yeah, go. Right. Start.
So we'll start down low, and
it's got an edition size of 50.
Edition size of 50.
So
it's Salt and Pepper Studios.
It's pretty rare.
And so what happened as well was a friend of ours.
A friend of ours. I've been watching Sopranos. A friend of ours. Eh?
He contacted me and he said, "Hey, do you guys want to review this? I'll drop it at your house. I'll come over on Saturday and I'll bring it along and come see your collection and stuff like that." So I was like, "Okay, sure." And he goes, "I'm moving house, so yeah, you can keep it for a couple of months." So I'm like, "Cool, okay."
Did he say you can keep it or I can keep it? Because I can take this shit. I'd like to have this.
Well, I don't know, because he left it with me. So
damn it! Is that friend borrowing friend problem again, isn't it? He'll come and turn up and go, "Where is he?" He'll be like, "Yeah, take a drive."
So so he brought it here and. He doesn't want to be named, so yeah. But very, very good guy to bring over and trust me with it. I wouldn't trust me with it. Starting on the base, so you got this kind of like almost like a tarmacy street kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely the top of it looks like that. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. So personally, I would have probably liked to seen a smooth plain base, to be honest.
Yeah, that doesn't look like that's on there properly. There you go.
Jesus, that's why you don't trust you.
No, that's why you moved it.
No, you picked up to show what the edition
is.
Anyway.
Hey! So now that looks a bit better, doesn't it?
Yeah, that does. That's a little bit more seamless.
So now
that makes sense. So this is separate, and then this piece, this bottom piece goes in.
You have the base, which is like this disc, which is exactly the same size as the Lazy Susan.
Yeah, so it's like 12 inches in diameter.
I think it's 12. I think it's 13 actually.
Cool.
And then you've got like a smaller piece there, and then you've got another smaller piece there as well. And then this goes on to the kind of ice bridge, and then I think
that's what it uses to get around, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then I believe the characters are legs and then upper torso and head all attached. So 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces.
Oh, cool.
I think this is kind of like meant to be like a road type thing. With what do the Americans call it? Asphalt.
Yeah.
Tarmac, we call it. So I do think that with the base, they could have added a bit more detail on there. I mean, they could have had maybe like a frozen puddle here in there.
Yeah,
that could have been quite nice, just to kind of add something on there.
Or even, like a drainage sign or something.
Yeah,
like one of them things.
Manhole cover.
Yeah. Just so that you know it's a street. You get what I'm saying?
Or it may not be a street, but we'll just assume.
I would even go plain black gloss. I think that'd look the shit.
They could have even had bits of frost on it.
Yeah.
Just to break up a little bit, Then you got the ice bridge, which is pretty heavy and super impressive. It's all clear resin, and then you got the kind of like the snow, like frosted out on the top.
It's really nice actually as well, because it's really textured, it's almost sharp. You definitely, you could sand down your feet on that if you need to, if you get a few calluses off.
Yeah.
It's
so
quite sharp.
Just give this. We'll go that way actually. Go that way. So give this a little spin round, and as you can see underneath, you can see like all the kind of icicles coming down. Really, it is a really impressive piece. I mean, there's so much pieces on here which, I'd be quite worried about shipping it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Turned out really well. The thing about clear resin is any kind of imperfection cannot be hidden. I mean, you can see a few sort of like bubbles here.
Even dust, dirt that gets into it.
You can see a few kind of like joins like on parts of it. I do think that what happened was, I'm trying to remember where it is now.
It's on the outside here on the right. It's up around this
somewhere
sort of way. It's around there.
Here. So then on here, this part there, there's like
I've had pictures.
Like an ice kind of spray, like on top of it when you got the white. I think they should have actually done, I don't know whether that was a mistake on that one where it's like an overspray, but I actually think it looks really good.
Yeah. You mean it could have been this part of spray that's gone onto the outside? Yeah.
But as I say, on this one, it looks really good. And
it does look great.
Done that on other parts, like here and there, to kind of break it up a bit and to kind of hide some of these seam parts on there.
Definitely on the underside in places, and even on him, to be honest, on some of the spikes on his shoulders, and maybe even a little bit on the top of the head, just some faintness in there to break it up and to hide some of the joins that are going on, because we all know that a lot of these pieces, when they're manufactured, the joins are at the delts, and that would hide it off quite nicely because of these spikes being on it. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
But then, so you've also got where the snow parts go on there as well, and I mean there can be sort of bits around the edges that can look a bit sloppy, and I think they could have got away with those a bit more if they added those sprays on there, because it looked like it would kind of look more intentional.
Yeah.
And then also you got a few imperfections, kind of like here you got like gaps or scratches on them, and just like bits that are missing. Again, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just
and you're talking extremely magnified under all the lights, extremely close up. You don't see this type of thing. If you put this on your shelf, you put it on your display, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see any of this shit we're talking about, apart from the fact that I agree with Alex though. The seamless part between the snow and the ice, you could have made, a lot more. Blended, so that it does. You will spot more flaws because of the way it's done. Could have been hidden a lot better.
And then also, I mean, the figure kind of goes in 3 points. So it's joined by his foot here, his foot here, and his hand up here.
Which is good, secure.
I think one of the best angles for myself, George disagrees, I think is to kind of view it from this angle here, because you don't see where the hand is kind of joining on. And I think that from this angle, I just
like it high up and head on.
Yeah. So if you look at it like that, it's kind of hidden.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
More like,
when did I disagree? Yeah, it looks great.
I agree. You prefer it there.
Oh yeah, but that's just from my.
But so there is that. So it does look really, really good from this angle. And then you kind of see all the underside with all the spikes on.
I'm a big fan. I would be considered in taking this off this guy's hand if he is interested in some sort of trade for it, because I'm not the biggest of Iceman fans, but I really do. This is super dynamic for me. I love just the pose and the way it's done. I really enjoy, and the cut. I don't know what they've done with how they've got the colours of the blue running through his body, but it's fantastic. It's a very aqua blue and clear resin mixed. It looks amazing. It really, really does. The trousers. Well, we'll start with the way that they've used the trousers to break up the translucent resin is really clever, and it's highly textured, very similar to the silk that Alex has in his setup. is really neat and tidy. He's got massive legs. His legs are well muscular.
Yeah, he's been doing squats.
I mean, this guy is obviously he's well put together, but the legs, particularly the muscularity on him, and you got a little bit of a cock shot there. You definitely get, he hasn't. He's atomically correct. The musculature on the legs. I mean, you can see even at the back here. There's the hamstring brachialis is done really well. There's almost a gap in the trousers where the muscle breaks like a V, which is really really nice. The calves are massive and really done well. It's almost quite an athletic, almost like a 100-meter sprint build that this guy has. An absolute powerhouse, but in an athletic way, which is really, really nice.
The guy wasn't very happy with this piece here, but I said it weren't really an issue.
The joint, the line.
I don't think it's that bad at all. I think what I said to him was, it's where the kind of seam of the trousers, where they kind of continue, and joined in with the crease of the knee. Yeah. And I don't think there's an issue with that, but he didn't like that.
No, it doesn't bother me.
No, it bothered him quite a bit.
But that's the thing. That's why you bring these parts up on review. It's really important because certain things will bother some people, and certain things will be like, "What?" And the belt's done really nice as well. I mean, it's the colour. Obviously, you're lucky because, like me and Alex talk about a lot of the times, if you have a textured surface, the details that are in them should be smooth, so they break. And this belt
adds contrast.
Adds contrast because this belt being black, and it's actually the same type of black that is on the trousers, but you can see a separation because it's smooth compared to the textured trousers, which is very clever. The belt's really nice, and then obviously you get into the body sculpt going up there, which the abs, chest, serratus, obliques.
So one thing, I do think that what they could have done again, just to add another little piece, is I think on the prototype they originally had the frost on the trousers. There was like frost on the thighs and things like that. And I do think that would have been quite a nice touch to kind of again to break up that black.
See, yeah, I could sort of agree with you, but then there's another part of me that says
the black
because of that the white and the clear resin and then that black on the top of it just breaks up the white, so you don't. It adds a lot of contrast. I really like that. So for me, I could sort of get why if they didn't do it, that's why. Yeah. I like the effect in the body, man. Yeah, it's really really nicely done. I mean, I think the lips, nose, eyebrows, the highlights. I don't know if you can see that on there, but you see how his cheeks have been shaded. His cheeks on both sides have been sort of darkened to give his face more shape.
So it doesn't get lost. They're kind of whiter.
Yeah.
And then that's white there.
Yeah, so you don't lose the detail because it's clear resin. You don't lose it. It doesn't look like a big blob on his head. But I'm super impressed with it, man, and I think that it could have been a little bit more detail in the fingers. Yeah. They're a bit sausagey for me, they could have been a little bit more sort of knuckle, a little bit more shape, especially this hand as well. Yeah. But again, we're talking extremely minor things. On the whole, I'm super impressed with that, and I quite like it. I quite like that a lot of people wanted him to be bald, but I actually really like the spiky Jack Frosty type hair.
I think the problem with this is, there would have been, there's always going to be classic fans, modern fans, and there's always going to be that kind of divide in any comic piece that comes out.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the problem with this would be, if you were to provide a switch-out head, then people would complain about how bad the scenes are.
You could.
And I think making the decision to do the modern head or the classic version, whichever way they went, I think is the best way to do it as a solid piece, because otherwise you're just going
to... Certainly with it being...
Sorry, it's just come to mind, sorry, this is by Salt and Pepper Studios, but this is by Extreme Sculptures, so Peter Famish. Sorry, it just come to mind just now.
I always have that guy linked on everything I say. It's
whenever you put up a Superman picture, if you put up like a Superman PF or a Superman something else,
any picture.
No, for some reason he's tagged to them all. He must have someone must have tagged him to one.
He must be Superman. My man. I mean, like I say, I'm quite a fan. I like the piece. I really love the fact that I don't know if you can see it very well on here, but what it does is the blue sort of stops around the middle of the arm and lightens towards the forearms and then goes clear. And it happens on the head as well. I don't know how they did it, but it looks great. I really like it, and I like the portrait a lot. It's funny because Bobby Drake as well is his power is a kind of a mimic of his personality. He's not a cold person, He's not cold, but he's transparent.
Yeah.
That's the way that he's depicted in his characteristics. He's very honest. He's brutally truthful. So I kind of like him.
Yeah.
And I'm digging this, man. So you know, really, I quite like it. So yeah, fair play.
Groovy.
Let's have a little.
Right, get the old tape measure out.
All right, let's have a look. Size-wise, okay. So let's go base, which is there to the top of the head. Height, I don't think it's going to be a big issue. I think you're talking about 19.5 inches tall. So you're going to need 20 inches of clearance there.
What's that in centimetres, George? Every time?
Damn son of a bitch. 51.
51 centimetres, okay.
51. Depth is the issue. If you're going to do the head-on thing like you're talking about, you're going from there all the way back here, and I think you're looking at 21.5 inches. So 55 centimetres is what you're going to need in depth.
Okay.
Obviously, if you just decide that you want it this way round, so you're going to view it from this point, then it's going to be 55 in width.
What's that inches?
You motherfucker. 55 is like 21.5.
Right, pass it for a second.
I need to, yeah, so then...
You've got that little knobbly bit sticking out there, and then you've got this knobbly bit here.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're looking at around about 17.5, which is 45 centimetres.
Yeah. So I mean, this will go
it's
in...
displayable.
This will go in a kind of struver if you did it that way.
Yeah.
So that from the front.
Yeah. It's very hard. I mean, to be honest with you, it looks great from the side as well. I mean, either side, even that side,
that would be bad.
that's a good side to get it, from my view, yeah, that side.
So
But with his head at the angle it is, I completely agree with you, that is the ideal. Ideally high and that way.
yeah, but with that depth, it's going to be hard to display.
See, I actually think this will go on top, like if we put it on top of a detov, because your display, you know, all you need is, it's about this. So, you know, it would work. It would go over the top, but it would work.
Are we weighing it?
Yes, we are. Right, so we've got 30.09 pounds. So just under 31, 14 kilos exactly. Proper weight. It's heavy. That's a heavy piece.
So 14 kilos is...
For like 20 by 20, it's, you know...
It's got a big footprint. I mean, the bridge weighs a lot.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So
figure heavy, the parts of it.
It's all solid.
Yeah.
You know, because with the clear resin, you can't make it hollow.
You can't cut it.
It doesn't work that way. So it is a solid piece.
I have to hit this boy up and see if I can get this, because I quite like this.
Good luck.
God damn it.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Do the usual, guys. You know, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let us know what you think of the piece. Let us know if you've got it. If you've got it, let us know how you display it. Let us know what you display it with. And yeah, is that everything? Did I cover it all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I need coffee. Actually, do I?
Yeah.
Okay. Peace.
Peace.
Bobby Drake.
Robert Louis Drake.
Bobby Drake. Hey everyone, it's Gio and Alex from RaddTitan, and today we are looking at the custom salt and pepper Iceman. And this piece has come to us through a friend. He dropped it off for us to have a look, do the review. Really nice of him to do that. Doesn't want to be named because there are some custom places that may kind of blacklist if people are associated with RaddTitan, or even if they're named to say they got hold of it. But anyway,
is that true?
Not this one, but there are others. So when you see our Magneto review, but we won't be saying his name then either.
Oh really? Oh okay. Cool.
Anyway, do that again.
Probably leave that out, just say it doesn't want to be named.
Mm.
Well, that's funny, I quite like that, you should leave that in there. I like it when it's honest, fuck it.